McLaren have done it. They have won their first Constructors' Championship in Formula 1 this millennium. They have not won a championship before this in the Constructors since 1998. It has been that long, 26 years, but they've managed it. A win for Lando Norris, despite the struggles of Oscar Piastri in Abu Dhabi, was enough to clinch that first Constructors' crown since Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri have been alive. Both of the drivers who were contributing towards this weren't even born. They've never experienced this in any sense in their lives before. So this is an incredible achievement by McLaren. And to look back at it, a bit similar to what I did when Max Verstappen won the Drivers' Championship, I'm going to look back at the 5 key moments that won McLaren the 2024 Formula 1 World Championship in the Constructors' Championship. So the first one really is the first win for McLaren, and of course Lando Norris's first victory in Formula 1 as well. Now Norris was kind of a bit of a joke before this. A lot of people were taking the mick out of him, saying, you know, he's the Tottenham Hotspur of you know, Formula 1. You know, he's never going to win anything. He's going to come close. He's going to be one of the best, but he's never going to win a race. But that all ended in Miami, the Miami Grand Prix. And it didn't come out of nowhere. In fairness, of course, before this in China, he did come in second place as well behind Max Verstappen. But the positions were inverted for Miami, where Lando Norris took advantage of a safety car to pit at that opportune moment, end up taking the lead ahead of Max Verstappen. And of course, he fully deserved it. He went with the alternate pit strategy, and he actually pulled out a lead ahead of Max Verstappen as well after that safety car period concluded. So very much deserved, an incredible win for him. Long time coming. The first win for McLaren in 3 years, aside from, unless you count Oscar Piastri's sprint victory in Qatar, which I don't really, because it's not a Grand Prix win. The first Grand Prix win in 3 years since Daniel Ricciardo managed it at the Italian Grand Prix in 2021. And of course, the former McLaren continued eventually, and one of the biggest wins for them was in Hungary, where they got a 1-2 finish. And this really highlighted as well just how much they can dominate a race. I mean, they were what, like 20 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. They were miles clear of everybody else in this one. Oscar Piastri eventually winning thanks to some team orders to get him by Lando Norris, because Norris was given a better pit strategy and took advantage of that. It showed as well that the two teammates were very much really working towards being, you know, a harmonious team. You know, they might, obviously they didn't win the Drivers' Championship this year, but the teammates, the camaraderie between the two, the fact that they can rely on each other like this as well, I think it was really shown in this moment. I mean, the most poignant moment for me was without a doubt the sprint race in Qatar, where Norris actually gave Piastri, what was it, he gave him the victory, actually, sorry, in that. I was trying to think where he finished in the sprint race, but yeah. And so he did pay him back eventually for, you know, things like that, and things like Brazil as well. We also did a similar thing in the sprint race, but there we go. So the third thing I want to talk about, though, is the victory for Piastri in Azerbaijan. Of course, you know, getting his first Grand Prix victory in Formula 1 was huge, of course, in Hungary, but the way he held off Charles Leclerc, who is a specialist around the Baku Azerbaijan Grand Prix circuit, you know, that was extremely impressive, and it showed just how talented he is. You know, he drove perfectly, in my opinion, to, you know, make that incredible overtaking move on Leclerc and then hold it until the dying stages of the race. Unbelievable performance by him, and he fully deserved victory as well. And it just showed how electric the pace of that car was. And, you know, Lando Norris as well, doing well to get all the way up to 4th, you know, despite starting way down after a poor qualifying. Again, that shows the pace they had, and they showed off the pace they had as well in Singapore. I mean, wow, what a win for Lando Norris that was. A huge margin of victory. He did something similar in the Netherlands, but I'm highlighting Singapore because this was very important. He actually did very well not to put it in the wall at times. Yes, he made mistakes, he locked up a few times, but, you know, he didn't end up hitting the wall. No contact made, or no significant contact made, and he survived to, you know, take what was in the end a dominant victory after, you know, taking pole position the previous day. And we have to talk about Abu Dhabi as well. You know, Norris getting that incredible victory in Abu Dhabi, you know, withstanding the pressure from behind of Carlos Sainz. They knew going into that weekend, if they won the Grand Prix, they would win the championship no matter what, and that was properly put to the test. Piastri getting taken out by Max Verstappen getting a penalty for that, Piastri making a mistake later on with with Franco Colapinto, you know, hitting the back of him, getting a penalty, needing to pit because of the flat spots to his tyres. There was a lot going on in this race. There was a lot going against McLaren, and Ferrari finished 2-3 with Sainz and Leclerc. An incredible drive from Leclerc, but it was not enough for Ferrari to win their first championship since 2008, but it was enough for McLaren to win their first championship since 1998. 26 years, like I said. Wow. You know, what a year for McLaren. They've just hung on, and they'll come on into 2025 as the favourites, as one of the favourites, especially in the Constructors' Championship. Could they get one of their drivers back to winning ways? Could they get a first Drivers' Championship since 2008? Let's see what happens with that one next year. And of course, there'll be plenty of news in the meantime, guys. We'll be bringing you here on the F1 Chronicle. Have a good one, and we'll see you very soon for some more content here on the channel, as always.